the stream key to the correct one. Are you in the dashboard right now? Okay. There we go.
Live.
We should be live now. We should be live now. Yeah. Oh, is there a delay? What the heck is going on?
Oh, there we are. I see us. Now we're live.
I see us. We're live, but the video is delayed, so we're not going to get real-time reaction to people, which is weird. Because in the past, we've always just had exactly real time. So
maybe it's delayed because we started it early. Do you think that's...
I highly doubt that. I think it's just something in the settings. But I don't know. Whatever. We can just start the show. This is the first time we've done the scheduling thing, so we'll see if it actually works or not.
Okay.
See if we get the exact same viewership that we've had in the past.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Well, we'll wait for some people. Let's see. What was the last 23rd? So these are the new messages. Okay. All right. How have your pubs been going, Donnie? Have they been going? Don't mind me.
I can't answer you right now. It's too intimidating. I don't want to talk about my stream or my pubs. I can't.
All right, Donnie. All right, let's hear it. How your pubs been going, asshole?
Whoa, man. I just don't want to talk to you. You're just being really negative for no reason. No, but honestly, they have... I mean, I hit Divine 3 on Saturday. I won like...
Congrats, man. I'm proud of you for that.
4 double downs in a row or something like that.
4 double downs? What level's your compendium?
Like 600, 500, something like that.
I need to get more compendium levels.
But yeah, I don't know. The last week has not been great. Like ever since the weekend, I think I hit Divine 3 on Sunday maybe, and then the last 2 days I've just been in like Tilt City the entire fucking time. Just because I don't really want to play Dota, but I'm like, I have to keep playing Dota because I wanted to hit Immortal before TI, and so I have to play every day to get there. And so I've been playing like one game and being like, I'm not having fun. And
you can't lose your medal, right? Your medal can't go down?
No.
Okay. That's convenient, at least.
Yeah.
So you're Divine 3. You're almost there, buddy.
Yeah.
You're almost there. It's a few hundred MMR. What is your rank? Or what is your MMR?
48.
48? I think 5,300 is Immortal these days.
Yeah, it's like 53, 54. So it's not that far away, and to be perfectly honest, the games are like literally not different at all than like High Ancient. They're the same games for the most part.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure. Okay. I mean, okay, so there have been. It kind of depends on where you get put. Sometimes I get put with like the High Ancient and like low Divine. Sometimes I get put with Immortal people, and depending on which game I'm in, it's definitely different. But the stuff that I've been doing still works, is what I'm trying to say. It's not like I need to necessarily play a whole lot different than I have been, because I've been doing a lot of good stuff, but I do need to be consistent, and I do need to make sure that when I do have a bad game, that I actually look at why it was a bad game instead of just being like, that was a bad game. And if I do that, then it's not going to be very hard.
The thing with ranking up is that people tend to make the same mistakes up until low Immortal, and then people won't like fall for your shenanigans. Like you'll have to change the stuff that you're doing, but people are better when they're higher rank. So sometimes doing good stuff will have good results, but it won't be enough. You know what I mean? Like some guy will hit a better black hole in the late game, or he'll be there ready to hit a black hole in the late game because he's not as much of an idiot So it won't matter if you're doing necessarily the right stuff. But I imagine between 4,500 to 4,800 now, you're probably between brackets.
Yeah.
So what you're saying makes sense. You would literally just queue into the same bracket a lot of the time.
It's like the same people, except now I'm at the top of that area instead of at the bottom of it. And so
yeah, which means you sometimes have to carry harder. But I don't know. I've found that now that I'm 7K, the games are easier because I can just play offlane.
Right.
And if I do well, my people will carry me. You know, like.
Yeah, so that is one interesting point. So, I mean, I'm saying that like my games this week haven't been good. I've played like 5 games in the last 2 days or something like that. And one of them, I wasn't able to play support. I had to play core, which I haven't played in months. So I picked Bloodseeker and I played fine, but I should have itemized differently. And the supports that we had on our team didn't place a single ward over the river. And I was just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? How do you instant pick support and then not actually play support? Just let me play support.
Support all the time, and my pubs don't carry me.
I don't.
It's just so hard to climb with supporting. Nah, dog, you just suck dick at support.
Yeah, I don't want to play core. I want to play support. Let me play support because I know what I'm doing, and you don't. But so that was one of my losses, and then I think like the other loss. I mean, I've definitely been tilting my team a little bit because I've been getting these whiny people that like mid and carry, and they start whining, and I'm just like, dude, just
bitching at them, calling them a baby back bitch.
Yeah, I'm like, you're
man. What are you doing?
Exactly. I just start telling them that they're a pussy and they need to fucking shut up and play the game, and then they start feeding intentionally, and I'm just like, all right, man, you just proved my point. Go fuck yourself. But we also just lost the game.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's proving a point in Dota is not very good at gaining you MMR.
No, it's really not.
Dude, that's what I'm trying to tell Husky, man. Husky is getting so many of these games. He's like, man, I've looked at what Fly is doing in pubs. I've looked at what all these people are doing in pubs, and it's the same thing as what I'm doing. I'm warding camps. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's like, yeah, man, you're a really good support, but you call your team apes all the time. Like I've played with him, and people throw all the time because he's bitching at them. And
yeah, I will say I'm really good at making my team throw. So I need to just reserve that for party queue or something like that instead.
Yeah. I mean, on my Smurf, I definitely for a long time was a lot more vocal, like telling people what to do because I feel like I'm above that bracket, so I can command the game, sort of thing.
Right.
It's just wrong. It's just wrong. You're not any better at getting a bunch of idiots to do shit. Like you didn't do that. You're not doing that in the high immortal game. Like I'm not doing that in the high immortal games. Why would I be able to do that? And how can I know anything about my captaining skills when I don't do it in high immortal? There's no reason that I just all of a sudden be a better captain. I'm a shit captain.
Yeah.
And I would just cause people they try to do something, they get like nervous because they're being told to do something, and then they screw it up, and then they feel bad about it, and they're just not even playing their own game. Like it ruins people's games.
It does. There's so many people who just want to armchair captain, and I mean, I will say that I think that captaining is one of my big strengths. Like I'm very good at just kind of seeing the game flow and being like, all right, let's go here now. And it's not like I'm telling people what items to buy all the time, or you have to go push out this wave so that we go over here. But I'll just make observations. Hey, I think we can get Roche now. Hey, I'm putting wards here, let's play in this area, that kind of stuff. And if I don't do that every game, then usually it's kind of a coin flip whether we actually progress the game past taking the tier 1 towers or not. And so sometimes, and this comes back to motivation and wanting to play the game, I just really don't want to talk. And if that's the case, I probably shouldn't play the game at all. Or play a hero that can do all of those things alone, like Wyvern or something like that, who can push and carry fights and save people and scale to be a core. All these things have to be possible from your hero, unless I'm willing to do all the things that make me a good support player.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I don't know. Dota's so complicated.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me today, what do I think that I would need to do to gain 1,000 MMR to get another 1,000? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. It kind of feels like right now I can get 7,500 without changing a thing. Because
Probably reduce your hero pool because you have like
as long as I'm spamming heroes, which
super high versatility score.
I have a super high one.
Yeah,
dude, I had 9.9.
That's ridiculous.
Earlier this week, and it's so funny because I was coaching Ellie, because she had lost a few games in a row, and she's like super depressed. She's like, I'm doing everything I can. I was like, all right, I'm gonna coach you right now and show you that you're not. Because she just wants to get better. So
right,
it's nice to honestly, you get to a certain point of Dota depression where it feels good to be told you're doing something wrong because at least there's something you can improve on.
Right.
Because I think a lot of people are like, I just can't do anything to win my pubs. I feel hopeless, and it's like you're like, no, you're an idiot. You did this wrong, and then that gives them hope because it's like, oh, I can change that. That's a way better feeling than stagnating. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I was telling her, I was like, man, you're picking like so many different heroes, Maranas and Crystal Maidens and shit. And I was gonna go to my profile as an example. It's like, look at what I'm picking. And then I was 9.8 versatility with an entire page of different heroes. And it's like, oh, this is why I've been losing. You don't realize until it's okay. To be fair, I feel like I have a pretty legitimate reason for it. I was testing things to see what was good on the patch.
Sure.
Like, I hadn't had a feel yet for what the good heroes are. Now I do. Now I have a pretty good idea. I feel like Enchantress offlane is good. I feel like Ogre offlane is good. Luna offlane is good. Pudge is a good hero. Pudge is a really good hero. Legitimately. Better 4, I think. Enigma offlane is good. I have these different opinions that I've built from testing things out. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without having high versatility. But yeah, if I spam Pudge, I'm pretty sure I could get to like 7.5k. Not because I'm a good Pudge, but just because I'm a 7k player and I'm playing one hero. 8k, I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that high yet, but it's the same. It's the same games you get. You get the exact same players.
Yeah, I think from what I can tell, the only reason that you wouldn't be able to hit 8k is just your own belief in your skill. Because I think that you often underrate how good you are at the game. Because
thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that.
No, I'm being serious. Like you do all these things right, and like you're clearly good enough because you go on these like 15 game win streaks in these high immortal games. It's like no fucking problem. But then you're like, man, I'm just like so many levels below like these pro offlaners. There's no way that I can get to like top 50 or top 10 or something like that. But I think that's bullshit, to be honest. I think you just like maybe not top 10. Maybe you're not a top 10 player, but I don't think there's anything that's holding you back from hitting 8k at all. Like, it's just consistency for the most part.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. I'm 7.2 right now. I guess the one thing that I want to hammer home, is just because it's an interesting point, is that I found it so much harder to climb from 6.5k to 7k than to climb from 200 MMR in like 6.5k bracket is so much harder than climbing 200 MMR at 7k.
Because of the variance in the games?
I think if you're good, yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's my role or if shit gets weird at that and at the tail end of a distribution,
Mm-hmm.
I just get it's just all the same players. I'm guaranteed to have like a good game of Dota with 10 players that. Almost guaranteed. It's the matchmaking algorithm has been a little bit wonky lately, but you're almost guaranteed to have a really good game. And all you need to do is just like play a good offlane. Whereas in the lower rated games, I do some last pick like store mid and just feed shit like that. But it's like I have to go mid because I'm rank 100 in a game with a bunch of rank 1000s, which doesn't sound that bad, but that's like 1,500 MMR difference or something like that.
Right, and I think one kind of key point there is like mid is your secondary role, I would say, like because you play Brood and you play Storm.
Mine?
Yeah.
No way.
No.
My secondary role support.
Well, okay. I mean,
I play like Brood. That's all I play mid is Brood. I play a shitty Storm. I have like a 40% win rate on Storm.
Well,
Like, my Storm is bad. I enjoy Storm. I play Tinker and Brood mid.
yeah,
That's it.
I guess it's more just a symptom of where you are at in the distribution, because the difference between a rank 1,000 and a rank 100 is literally 2,000 MMR, which is like putting an Archon against a Divine player, basically.
Yeah.
So that's like,
Just there sometimes aren't people
yeah,
from, top 100 to 200 queuing because it's so few people. I mean, it's less than 200.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Smurfs and like accounts that are just rank sitting that don't play. There's so many like 100 rank sitting accounts.
Yeah.
That just got high rank and like were sold, or people play party queue and don't play ranked, or like pro players that don't even play ranked. Like, sometimes like RTC and Sumail don't even play. They just go weeks without playing ranked because they're just playing scrims and stuff.
Yep. Hey, all right, so let's get into this show. But before we do, I just wanted to... have you seen the shirts that I ordered?
No.
All right, well, check this out. This is the white one. You're going to see it on stream in a sec. It's the white one. That's the front logo. And then on the back, it's got the circle.
I'm waiting to see it.
And then the one that I'm wearing is the black version, which is got the small logo on the front. The black logo on the back.
I can't. It's still. Let me see.
Do you not see it? Because it's showing up on stream right now for me.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Ooh, I love it. Oh, I love that. Ooh, that's nice, dude. That's nice.
They turned out pretty well, didn't they?
Wow, dude. Those are our shirts, man.
Cool. Well, I'm still trying to figure out who we're going to order them through, but once I do, I'll let you know and you can get some for yourself. The ones that I have are super soft. They just might not be like quite high quality enough for me to want to use them. I'm not sure. Gonna wear them for a couple days to see how it like.
I have nipple chafing issues. So...
Dude, these are so soft. You could just rub them on your nipples all day.
Okay, good. That's what I need. All right. Congrats on the Aki sponsorship. Oh, speaking of which, we should do another video for them. Anyway, let's get into it.
Hop into her.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 42nd episode of Alchemy Answers. Let's begin.
Let us begin.
So, Shadow says, is Bounty Hunter offlane in a decent spot right now? I think so. I think it's pretty good. I have yet to try it. I want to try it. It's on my list for heroes that I want to try. And I think that the fact that BH offlane is more likely to skip the invis and go for a point in the shuriken and use the shuriken to harass and kill people, I think that makes him a good offlaner with the shuriken buff. That hero's always had mana issues, so I love the mana change to him. And the base damage is great. I mean, the hero...
Yeah.
If you want a last hit with him, you need base damage.
I don't know if I love him as an offlaner. I feel like if you're going to run him as an offlaner, then you absolutely have to have like a hard stun. Like a hard stun initiator as your 1 or as your 4.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's extremely hard to take fights. And that's what BH wants to do, is just fight all the time anyway.
I think also you need some scaling. You need some like pretty hard scaling in one of your supports.
Yeah, I think
like a warlock or something.
Yeah, definitely. I really like the idea of pairing Bounty Hunter with a support that really likes scaling, like a Warlock, for example, who benefits from items, or pairing it with a core who doesn't have very good farm, like flash farm, but is really strong during the mid game. So like maybe like a CK or something like that. Yeah, because then you can just like run people over, and CK is like, oh, I wouldn't have this much farm if I was just strictly farming right now.
Yep, sure.
So yeah, I agree. I think that's probably the way to go.
I think BH is an incredibly good pub hero.
Yeah, super good.
The thing with BH is in pro matches, it's either feast or famine with that hero, because you either are winning and you get a ton of gold and you win even more, or you're losing and you don't get any gold from track and BH is useless. But in pubs, you almost always win fights even when you're losing. And if you're BH, that can lead to a huge snowball. It's crazy. So I think for pubs, BH is much better. Competitively, we'll see. Yep. So shout outs. Oh, by the way, Donnie. I had a thought. What was it? Okay, it's gone. I'll try to remember later. Shadow said, what are the best arguments when your friends start saying League of Legends is better? I get outnumbered like 50-6 in my server. Feels bad, man.
I've never played it, so you can just tell them that Dota Alchemy has never played League of Legends, and therefore Dota must be better. Because
I would just make the argument that just explain to them the concept of some Dota heroes. You know, explain to them Nature's Prophet or Broodmother. She can walk over walls on webs.
They just came out with a new hero that is literally Mars. His name is Pantheon. He has a shield and a spear. He throws the spear. He blocks damage with the shield. It's a joke. It's like,
let me Google this.
They're legitimately just copying what Dota does.
So let's see. Comet Spear works relatively similar to Pike Q's Bone Skewer without the pullback component. Oh. Okay.
But there was a video that I saw actually.
They reworked Pantheon.
Oh, maybe that was it. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe he was already in the game. Like I said, I don't play it, so I have no idea. I just saw some update about Pantheon. I was like, oh, new hero. Oh, wait, it's actually Mars. So maybe Dota stole from League of Legends. Who knows?
Mars is a good hero, man.
But as far as the Dota lol argument, I mean, first of all, just look at that. It's like you say lol, it's just laughing at the game, versus Dota. It's like dank on the ass or something like that.
Yeah.
But then more than that,
that sounds much better than laughing out loud. Dank on the ass.
It does. Definitely does.
I think Donnie just won you every League of Legends argument ever.
Exactly.
Like, the argument is officially over.
But I did see a video recently that really pissed me off, which is that there was this dude who was a jungler, I believe, but instead of being a static jungler, he played the game as a roamer. And so he went from top to bottom and top to bottom and bottom to top and to mid, and he ganked a bunch of different lanes. And he was like a top 400 player or something like that on their ladder. So really, really good at the game. And he was in a game with this huge streamer, and the streamer was flaming him for playing roaming, because normally in League, jungling is this role where you literally just like try to out efficiency the other jungler, and that's basically all you do until you join the fight. And so roaming is something that nobody does, and this top streamer was flaming him for that. And after the game was over, he reported him, and then he was bragging about it on stream. He's like, I'm going to message my guy at Riot and have you banned from playing the game. And he was. So they banned this guy who was playing a non-meta way of playing jungler and winning with it for doing that, basically.
That guy's a griefer, man. That's like people picking alchemists in my pubs. They should be banned unless they're on my team and winning the MMR. Those guys shouldn't be banned.
Exactly. So that was literally what they banned him, because he was innovating and it was working. So,
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Like, if that's your policy, go away, dude. Like, that's so stupid. How?
Speaking of, that kind of reminded me, for whatever reason, we need to do another predictions video, because the heroes have changed. They released a patch. We need to do another predictions video.
Oh yeah. You just want more views.
It's what?
You just want more views, but sure.
Number one, more views is great, but then people have been asking about it.
All right, we can do a revised one.
People are like, dude, heroes have changed. Valve has done the unprecedented, and they've released a patch 2 weeks before TI. So, more views for us. It's unfortunate. All right, ZTOQ says, actually ZTO, not Q. The Q is question. My team wants to fight in a bad position with some heroes not present when we don't have any items. They won't listen to my arguments, and they fight anyway. Should I join? I feel like pushing other lane is more beneficial than participating in a bad fight, but people will get salty over it. More often than not, the answer is yes. Let your team feed. Let them die.
Yep.
Use them as space, especially if you're a hero who is good at taking space, aka you scale into the late game pretty well, aka you're basically any hero in Dota that's not, I don't know, Crystal Maiden or something. Even she scales pretty well. She has an attack speed talent, and her ult's crazy. So yeah, most heroes, you just don't show up to stupid fights, and that makes those fights less stupid because then you're taking the space from your team. You're allowing it to be space. It's so game losing to show up to fights that are game losing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple logic puzzle. Like, can we win this fight? If the answer is no, then don't take it. And if your team takes it, so be it. Like, but you do have to be objective, not just like emotionally attached to the idea that your team is dumb. Look at the fight, evaluate whether you actually can win it or not, and then make that decision. But like, if the decision is we can't win this fight, then there's literally zero reason to ever show up. I mean,
like, is it on a shrine? Is it under your tower? Is it too far away that you're not even going to get there in time? Has one of your most important heroes died? The fight is bad to take now. There's a lot of considerations that you need to make, but it's pretty obvious if a fight is good or not. Right? Is the enemy team doing something stupid? If yes, then take the fight. If they're not doing something stupid, then you're probably doing something stupid. Don't take the fight.
Yeah, it's actually better to lose a lane of racks than show up to a fight that you can't win in your base.
Yes. Otherwise, you just lose the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain scenarios where it's like, sure, you can kind of fight where you like are delaying them, but again, that's just a judgment call. If you show up, can you like spam out the wave and like waste their time until your teammates respond, or is showing up going to make your team like dive in and just feed the game away? Like
Souls responded, said people will get salty if you take a fight you can't win and feed to. Do you think we'll win the game? Fuck what your team thinks unless they prove themselves to be capable by their actions. Yeah, I agree. Like, generally, people in Dota just think their opinion is God's will, and everything else is just, mental. So
yeah,
you can't bend to the beck and call of your team. There's no way in Dota. Like, everybody's so insistent that their opinion is correct, and everybody is wrong, including immortal players. So yeah, unless it's RTZ, you don't go fight. Unless you think it's good, then you go fight. Vasilios says, question, I've struggled recently as a safe lane support against Pitlord. Once he gets Soul Ring, he just pushes wave into tower, and if my carry can't tank any creeps, then our lane is screwed. How do I handle this, assuming I've picked unfavorably? E.g. AA/Spectre, Pitlord / Lion? I think
it's AA and Spectre versus Underlord and Lion.
Oh, okay, versus. Right. Okay, so
I feel like you should be able to out-trade the Lion with that.
With AA, I mean, that's not a winning lane though. You can't win that lane. You just pull and try to get your Spectre some farm. Like, the point of Spectre is she gets kind of sacked and is just tanky.
Yeah.
Then at a certain point, you can probably just leave and do other things and let your Spectre just sit under tower farming with some regen or some Soul Ring plus phase boots, something like that, and your Spectre will be fine. And then eventually Spectre leaves the lane and you give the lane to somebody else. But I don't see how that lane beats a Pitlord or Lion. There's no way. That's a lane where at the very best you're happy with going even.
Yeah.
So you just try to kill the Lion as much as you can. You use your AA stuff on the Lion until he's out of regen, then you can maybe use it on the Pitlord, but he should have a decent amount of regen, especially if he rushes for like Soul Ring components. He's gonna start with like 6 tangos at least of regen. Yeah, that's not a winning lane.
Yeah,
you just pull.
I think it's pretty straightforward. Like you try to trade down the Lion so that he can't be aggressive on your Spectre, and then as soon as the game gets to the point that you mentioned specifically, which is where Underlord is just shoving the lane and you can't deal with it, leave.
Your Spectre free farms, that's fine. Like, Spectre, if your Spectre's farming in a game, you're cool with that. Spectre's a hero who thrives on just getting destroyed in the lane and then coming back by being, the best late game carry in Dota.
Yeah. Just a quick follow-up question from chat. Why are people going Soul Ring on Spectre? Because it gives you everything you need on that hero. It gives you a regen. Infinite amount of spectral daggers, which allows you to farm a lot faster. It gives you regen to sustain in the jungle, and it gives you some tankiness so that you can use your dispersion a little bit better and just like survive longer.
Yeah, that's such a great Spectre item. I'm surprised people just recently started picking it up. It makes so much sense on her.
Yep.
Kinryoku says, "Hey guys, thanks for your input on the submitted replay and answering my questions. Here is my question for today. Normally when I play 5 support, I almost always get 2 sets of tangos, share 2 with my mid, a salve, 2 wards, give 1 to offlane, 1 to mid, a mango and a clarity, and 2 iron branches unless I need a sentry for my lane. I guess this is okay. But what other situations should you buy different starting items? What else is acceptable as a position 5 support?"
Always buy a sentry.
I was going to say, I think sentry, starting with a sentry is extremely effective.
You don't need the branches, first and foremost.
With that being said, you can go look at Fly and what he builds in every game, and it's almost always the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's not much diversity when it comes to what position 5s are buying these days, just because you don't have options. You have to buy the wards. You have to buy the... Well, I was going to say the curry. The curry is 50 gold now, right?
Yeah, so you just go... I mean, I'm obviously not Fly, but I play basically exclusively 5 support, and I've been winning with it. I go courier, 2 wards, sentry, 2 tangos. I think it leaves you enough gold for a mango and a smoke, and that's usually what I go for.
Let me look up what Fly is going. I'm pretty sure he's just does the same thing in every single game. Husky told me that. I'll take his word for it. But let's see. So he played Silencer, and he went... Oh, you can't see starting items on Dota Buff, right?
Sometimes you can't. It has to be parsed, otherwise it doesn't show up.
Builds. Let me see. Sentry, Tango, Smoke of Deceit, Observer Ward.
Yeah.
That's it. He bought Obs and Sentries. And he bought Tangos and Sentry. I think he was against the Sand King, so he just bought bought 3 Sentries and then a bunch of regen.
Totally. If you're against the Sand King, a Treant Protector, a Weaver, a hero that basically relies on being invisible for the first couple of waves, just show up the lane with 2 or 3 sentries and you're going to win the lane. Like, it's pretty straightforward. Otherwise, I think the items that you mentioned are exactly what you do as a 5. The point being is, like, the Iron Branches, while they are good items at that point in the game, you end up trading vision, basically, or essentially, like, having 2 more stats is going to have way less impact than an additional sentry ward or a
having
smoke.
A camp to pull. Like,
exactly.
The camp is the most important thing. You need the camp.
Exactly.
That's the reason why the safe lane is that easy camp. So you got to get that thing unblocked. Worst case scenario, like, yeah, the branches really are just to put down and have more tango regen at the very most. So, and it's still good, sure, but it's not as good.
And, like, as a 5, just die if you need more regen. Like, you don't need the branches for more regen. Just die.
Yeah, you 5s don't really need anything. You just want, like, consumables.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay, Approach says you should probably go mangoes or even stout on ogre. Yeah, sure. Depends on the hero. But for, like, Banes and Silencers and these kind of just generic position 5s, it's always the same. Yep. Henrik says, let's say the enemy tier 1 towers are down and you as a support are holding a couple of observer wards. Team isn't willing to participate in a smoke attempt in order to gain control over either shrine area. I tend to go for greedy wards on the edge of the shrine high ground, which is often dewarded. Is it worth it to have the wards in the inventory for that moment that you eventually gain access to those high ground areas, or is it okay to be greedy sometimes? I would say almost always you don't want to go with the greedy wards unless you're looking to play around them, just because it can be so devastating to get an area dewarded and then you don't have wards for 5 minutes and then you just lose in that 5-minute window. Like, 5 minutes in Dota is an eternity, man. You can lose an entire game in 5 minutes easily.
Mm-hmm.
So generally going for those just cliff wards, and I know what you're talking about when you put it, like, right on the high ground because you don't want to walk up the high ground. If you're ever going to do that, you want to put 1 ward on the high ground to know that you can walk up, and then walk up and put another one that's not going to get dewarded. Yes. Generally, if you're placing, like, 2 to 3 wards in really easy to deward areas, that's a risk, man. But if you're placing 1 in order to allow yourself to get deeper, and then you place 2 or 1 in good undewardable spots, that's a sweet spot. Also, feel free to solo smoke to do that.
Yeah. That's
solo smoke, buy quelling blade in order to cut trees. Like, do whatever you can to get those wards down and get them undewardable. There's a lot of spots that you can QB trees on high grounds and just in areas like in the river next to the Roche pit, where you can put wards like in the river and it won't get dewarded, and it's super effective. The worst thing in Dota is to lose all your vision for a long period of time. Super dangerous.
Yeah. Also, if you find yourself getting deward a lot, then just switch it up and sacrifice a little bit of vision for having the ward be, out of their sentry range. Like, I really do like the point that you brought up, which is that placing more than one ward. Like, sometimes you put a ward in a pretty obvious spot that gives you really good vision of the area so that you know where you can go safely. And then you put a much more difficult ward to deward, kind of covering the same area, but also covering a little bit deeper. And then they'll find the easy one and they'll be like, okay, we got the vision. And then you have the vision still there, which is like pretty overpowered because they're like, well, we just dewarded. How do they know that we're here?
Usually the way that supports will ward is they'll try to have one ward where the enemies are, and then they'll carry 2 wards into so they'll ward their jungle with 1 ward, and then they'll try to ward 2 spots in the enemy jungle, and they'll have 1 ward in like a pretty easy to deward spot, and then 1 ward in a really hard to deward spot. And then that way, when you leave, that 1 ward that doesn't get dewarded becomes the 1 ward that's in the enemy area. And then when you play in your jungle, you're playing around 2 wards again.
Yep.
Like, you'll put 2 new wards in one easy to deward, 1 hard to deward spot. The easy to deward spot should be in a very convenient location, though.
Yep.
Anyway, so George says, can you put these 4 objectives into an importance hierarchy? So he says, enemy offlane tier 2. Okay. Enemy top shrine, enemy bot shrine, first enemy tier 3, no opportunity to get racks, Roche.
I'm kind of confused because you can't take the shrines without taking the tier 3, so there's no way that those can be higher priority.
So let me think. Enemy offlane tier 2. So that's basically a worthless tier 2. That does not do that much for you. That tier 2 goes to the bottom automatically.
Yeah, I would say tier 3 followed by the Roche shrine, followed by the other shrine, followed by that tier 2.
Yeah, if you have a choice, if you could, let's say, like, just in importance, the tier 3 lets you take both the shrines, which lets you get Roche.
Yeah.
Because they have no shrine to TP2. So if you take a tier 3, it basically means you've Roche control for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So and that's got to come before the shrines, of course, because you can't get the shrines without the tier 3. Like, the tier 3 gives you easy access to both the shrines. Honestly, just with how easy, well, I guess this is not important. This is just importance. This is just importance. So easiness, I have to ignore easiness because that's not part of the constraints of the question. So let me think. So bot shrine, top shrine. So killing the top shrine is better. Unless
because it's the Roche shrine.
So if the shrine is radiant, killing the top shrine is really, really, really fucking good, because that's their triangle shrine, which is the safest area on the map for them to farm, and their triangle is the best place on the map for you to take control of the game. Playing the fly spot or the triangle is strategically the best place possible. And then also the top shrine on Radiant is Roche. So the Radiant top shrine is the best shrine to take.
Yes.
If you're Dire, it's more even because the top shrine is the jungle shrine.
No, you're talking about if you are Dire, it is better to take the Radiant shrine.
The Radiant top shrine is really good to take.
It's the best shrine in the game.
If you are Radiant and you had a choice between the jungle shrine, which is the Roche shrine, which is the top shrine, or the triangle shrine, which is the offlane shrine, those are both pretty even, I would say, because
kind of depends on the point of the game.
What?
Kind of depends on the point of the game. Is Roche spawning? Take the Roche shrine.
Yeah, if Roche is spawning, if you're playing more of like a farming game, then letting them just play in their jungle and taking control of their shrine area can be the most game-winning thing.
Yeah.
So I would say because it's even on Dire and on Radiant, it's leaning towards top shrine. The answer is just top shrine. It would go.
You're getting so overly analytical with this.
So the order would go tier 3, top shrine,
Bottom
bottom
shrine.
shrine, and then Roche. But Roche would come first if you're Radiant. And then the offlane tier 2. I'm not forgetting anything, right?
You forgot the other shrine.
Oh, yeah. The other shrine, then the tier 2. Last. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
He asked, man.
Yeah.
He asked. Okay. Follow up. Can you put all objectives into an importance hierarchy? Oh, my God.
No, we can't.
That took me so long.
No, we can't. We're not going to do that. We'll do it this way. Tier 1 mid, most important objective in the game. Because the first one you should take is the most important one out of the first ones that you can take.
I can tell you the order.
Actually, sorry. First bounty spawn, followed by mid tier 1, followed by safe lane tier 1. Right?
Yeah.
And then, man, maybe even safe lane tier 2.
Safe lane tier 2. Yeah. It's safe lane tier 1, mid tier 1, safe lane tier 2. Sometimes those are swapped in order. Reorient the map, get the bounties, take the off lane tier 1, take the off lane tier 2, take the mid tier 2, control enemy jungle, smoke into your own jungle, kill them, deward, smoke back into their jungle, kill them, deward, take Roche, end the game. That's how you play Dota.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Nice.
Okay, so Chevra says top 3 position 1 heroes of TI9. God, that's so much easier of a question.
Yeah. Screw you, Eddie Mercury, you son of a bitch.
I love it, man. All right. Alchemist, Naga Siren, Clinks.
I agree on Naga Siren. It's position 1. So, are you
Alchemist?
Are you saying Alchemist in the safe lane?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Because
you
I
haven't been playing in 7K pubs, dude.
No, I was gonna say because I have seen a lot of people playing safe lane Alchemist.
I hate it.
So
I hate it.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say safe lane Alch. I think you're also right on Naga Siren, and then
you're gonna say Luna.
He's
gonna say Luna, boys.
I don't think so. Luna. I don't think so. I'm thinking one other position 1 that I've been looking at a lot. I'm gonna say Lycan, actually. I think Lycan's gonna get picked a lot at TI.
I'm gonna take a moment here to vent about this Alch bullshit. So the reason it's so dumb that he can do what he does. So what you do is you play safe lane out. You go jungle at like 4 minutes, 3 minutes or something. Leave a support the lane, and you farm the fastest. You know, no hero is going to out-farm you if you're just hard jungling and nobody's dealing with you. But once you're 6, it's so hard to kill an Alchemist who is farming because he's 6 and it's in his own jungle and he's got a support playing the lane. And then you get the Radiance, right? The Radiance makes you farm so quickly. Then you pick up an Assault Cuirass, which that should match up with your level 15 talent, which gives you 50 damage. And then you have the Radiance damage as well. And then you have the Radiance, which makes you harder to kill and makes you able to like run people down in team fights and, you know, gives you magic, a little bit of magic damage. So this guy right clicks as hard as, did you know Alch has the highest potential DPS in Dota because of his BAT?
Yeah, his BAT is stupid.
This hero is the old Alch. He farms as quickly as the old Alch, if not quicker, because he's played in the safe lane. He's played in the safe lane, so you're not committing mid to a matchup that can be totally dumpstered because it's perfectly fine for a safe laner to leave to go jungle. That's fine.
That's true.
For a mid laner, not so much. So, but here's the thing with going the left talent tree, without going the magic build, he doesn't fall off. And because of the Aghanim synths and the moon shards, it's like old Alch, but it's not a timing thing. He just out-carries everything, but also faster. So if you pick Alch against a Spectre, you literally can't lose. You actually can't lose. It's fucking bullshit. You have to end the game on an Alchemist, or he literally can't lose, because he outscales every carry and faster. Like, that's not reasonably okay.
Yeah, I saw there was a Battle Cup last weekend where Team Liquid was playing Battle Cup, and they played against a Zai, Crit, Gork, Stormstormer, and FNG stack in the grand finals.
Yeah.
And Liquid ran Miracle on safe lane Alk, and they lost all of their other lanes. Like, Mind Control got pooped on. Weehaw did fine, I guess, in the mid lane, but he wasn't having like an exceptional game. I think he ended up going like Lotus Orb on Storm Spirit, so he was not getting damage at all. And they basically just allowed Miracle to completely free farm for 25 minutes,
and then it's just over.
And then,
it's over.
Yeah, and he was strictly 1v5ing, and he didn't. There was no Manta. He didn't go BKB. He went Radiance, and then he went Solar Crest, and then he went, I believe he went Blink Dagger, and then he went AC, and then
people will go Solar AC. They'll also go Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty's in.
Yeah, so yeah, it was Solar AC Scotty, I believe, was the itemization tree.
Dude, it's crazy because it's
and
like,
then they had an Omni Knight behind him to give him Heavenly Grace.
Like, oh man, thank God it's an alchemist, right? He's not going to kill your towers. And then this motherfucker walks up and he's like, dude, your fucking tower dies in 2 seconds because he has actual damage and actual tower damage.
Yeah, and then
it's not like this old Alk where he's just this magic damage. Oh, I'm tanky, I'm frontlining. I need somebody else to hit towers for me because I'm a pussy. No, he's a beast.
Oh, and then he has a 40% cleave talent, which literally makes him Sven. Except he's a Sven with a Mask of Madness and a permanent Echo Saber, basically.
Dude, I'm telling you, the amount of damage that he does with that build, like right-click damage, for how fast he attacks,
pretty scary,
is not reasonable. If he stuns one person, it's like they're dead.
Yeah,
you know, they're done.
Especially with an AC and a Solar Crest. It's like AC, Solar Crest, and Acid Spray. They have like minus 25 armor, and you're doing like 300 damage for right click.
Items also make him incredibly tanky as well. Like they're the items that do both. That's what people call it. Like Scotty makes you ultra tanky. Heart gives you damage and makes you ultra tanky because for some reason it amplifies your regen. It's crazy. It's one of those things where I feel like people probably should have gone for that build in the past, but it just wasn't something that people were doing. Right. But now that everybody's seen it, you can't go for the other build.
You can't unsee it. You can't unsee it.
It's so terrible to go for the other build because it's like, as soon as he gets an AC and a Radiant, the game is over. The game is legit over against an Alk. And then by the time you take the next team fight, he's got a BKB. And then the next fight, he's got a Scotty. It's like, man, we're fucked. My Spectre has just a Radiance.
Yeah. I personally think that early Radiance and Spectre is not very good. I think the hero's pretty good at fighting early on.
How do you outcarry a hero who has 6 items by the time your carry has 1?
Spirit Vessel? Cross your fingers?
Yeah, then he just purges it with his like 7 purge items that I've seen that too. People will go Manta or BKB if there's a Spirit Vessel.
Yeah.
And then it's just like you can see the Spirit Vessel. It's like, I see that you have a Spirit Vessel, and then you hit 2 jungle camps, and then you have a full BKB because it's Alchemist. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna get off this Alchemist train right now because it's gonna be like the fucking Ice Piercer or Snow Piercer, whatever it is. It's a train going for generations, you know?
Yeah, remember when we were debating speaking of those TI predictions that we're gonna have to revise, remember when we were debating whether there was gonna be enough Alchemist picks? 100%.
I'm certain.
All the GPM talents, potentially all of the kill talent, or all the kill predictions, all the GPM predictions, average GPM, probably average last hits too. Like,
I have not seen Alchemist lose. I've not seen this new build Alch lose. I just played with an Alch. We lost every single lane, and he's just like, "Give me 5 minutes, guys." We gave him 5 minutes. He's 1v5ing.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to be first banned every single game?
Maybe. We need to make a video on this. Actually, it's like. It's such easy MMR right now.
I actually have the full Liquid replay already downloaded. And, I was watching it, so
there you go, dude. Get that shit out. Get that shit out there because I'll
try. I have so many videos to make.
We can be the YouTubers that brought this to the masses, and everybody will be like, "Oh, the Dota Alchemy build." When really, it's like it's this build that's already a scourge in pubs. But you know, it's like
it's the Dota Alchemy build.
It's the Dota Alchemy, dude. That's you. What? Didn't I do a video last? Yeah, you're next. Do that, man.
What are you talking about? I just released a video today.
Which one?
The Skillshare one.
Oh, that's out?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's how to break the mid-meta. I just put it up. It's
Oh, you
about
did.
it's about
41 minutes ago.
Visage and Huskar complete cancer against the mid heroes that people are playing right now.
Oh, I've been seeing people play a decent amount of Visage.
Yep.
Is this the Skillshare video?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Ooh, that's got a good amount of views.
It's because it's a good
1.2K?
video. It's one of my best videos I've made in a while.
I'm proud of you, man. I'll do the Alch video then. I'll do the Alch. The thing is, people are gonna bitch at me. People are gonna be like, "Oh, this Jenkins is overhyping this."
I will. I'll send you the match ID. I have it actually in Notepad right now.
Sounds good.
Just to make sure you have it, because I think it's going to expire pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, let's see. One from Patreon. Chevra is just sitting there. He's like, I just asked what the top pause ones were. We've been on this Alch hype train for like 10 minutes. Okay, so this is from Levi Rikonen. Love the last name. Love the name. Hi, guys. Just became your Patreon here. Came to your Patreon to ask, what do you guys think of offlane Void? Any chance of it coming back? According to Dota Buff, he actually has a higher win rate in the offlane than in the safe lane, so that sparked my interest. I used to play him as a 3 a couple of years back, and I still think the ult with Ags is crazy good, especially when combined with Invoker or a similar hero. Thank you and love your content. Thank you. We appreciate your support on patreon.com/Dota Alchemy.
I love it.
I think offlane Void is pretty good. I think Void in general right now is an extremely good hero.
Yep.
It has about a 60% win rate as one of the more picked heroes in high-level pubs. I don't know if it's trickled down to the other brackets yet, but a lot of people are playing this hero as carry. Going for, Diffusal, Manta, Scotty, BKB, Mask of Madness, Mjolnir. All the typical carry items are pretty effective on this hero. But I think as an offlaner, you can definitely go for like Vlad, Solar Crest, these pseudo carry items, and you'll still be good. You'll still do a good amount of damage, but you'll also offer utility to your team, and it's especially effective, like you said, if you have some hero to combo with. If you have some hero to do damage in Chrono, it's fantastic, because then you're a Chronosphere at the very least, and that's a lot. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good right now, particularly because Void is just a broken hero. Speaking of which, that might be one of the top carries of TI9.
Yeah, he was another one. Awesome. He was another one that I was thinking of saying.
He's going to be stable. I think he's going to be the Jug of TI9. I think he's gonna
absolutely. It's like he doesn't really lose lanes. He scales incredibly well.
There's nothing that counters him. It's like, no matter what, Void against Slark, Void against Spectre, you just Chrono the hero that's the problem and kill them and get items to counter them.
Yep.
There you go.
Totally. I mean, he's even reasonably good against Alch in the late game because you can Chrono him. That's like one of the only ways to beat the Alch. Or
Chrono his team and kill his team and then kill him after. Like it gives you options. Chrono and just the way Void works gives you so many options.
Yeah. What does the Ags bring the cooldown of? 60 seconds? Dude, 60 that's seconds. Fucking broken. It's like one of the... It's
with the 25 talent, too?
Yeah, that is ridiculous. You literally just have a black hole on a 60-second cooldown.
Yep. Massive black hole. Yeah, he's a good hero. The only problem with the offlane is it's very hard to get that much farm. So you're probably not... Like, offlane, you'll get, like, 4th item Ags or something. 3rd, 4th item. Depending. Approach says at... About 1,400 MMR, I have a 54% win rate in unranked, but I continue to lose ranked games. Any tips? Spam one hero. That's all I would say. You have to spam one hero and learn the hero in and out. Look at pro replays for that hero. Just like Dota is super hero based right now, and your win rate in unranked is probably because you're just getting matched with random people that aren't in your skill bracket. So yeah, anytime somebody's like, I'm stuck at 1,500, all I say is like, get really, really good at one guy. Yeah.
What is your versatility score is the first thing you should ask yourself if you're stuck at an MMR below 2,000. Like, it's very simple to get out of that bracket.
Yeah. You just have to get good at one hero.
Yep.
Dark Soulless Eyes says, purely theory crafting question for fun. Oh God, we've seen how these go. Thoughts on pushing the mid-level 1 tower before the Horn? Liquid tried it at a tourney, but I don't believe it would be a useful strategy. It just gives the enemy mid the ability to control the wave in front of their tier 2, and your mid gets ganked forever. Any thoughts? That is an interesting point.
I think it would almost be better to do it to the safe lane. That's probably even more viable, too. You just take their safe lane before the Horn. And then their safe laners, you just have the whole jungle available to you.
It's after the Horn. Like you can only take towers after the Horn. Like they were trying to do it I'm pretty sure they sacked bounties to do it. Maybe they sacked bounties. Maybe they just all ran at the mid tier 1. But anyway, yeah, like right after the horn. But the thing is, the reason Liquid was trying to do that was because it was I believe it was a game where taking the mid tier 1 was very good for like the strategy of their game. Like some Medusa or something that wanted to, or Alchemist that wanted to farm jungle. Like if the mid tower opens up the game, then yeah, it's useful. That's the thing with the safe lane tier 1 is it should usually be already pretty easy to take with your offlaner that doesn't add anything to take it early.
But what if you had somebody that was really good at taking the jungle there? I'm just trying to theory craft because he has said theory crafty questions. So it's like if you could take that whole section of the jungle, it gives you an additional 2 camps, right? Plus the gold from the tower. But I guess maybe they're too far away. Maybe, I don't know.
What about taking the mid tier 1 and then just dual laning mid and just zoning
at the tier 2?
No, you just zone the guy away from the creep wave
at the tier 2
in front of your tier 1.
But the creep equilibrium would meet at his tier 2. Is the whole point?
Not if you static the wave.
I guess so. Yeah, like if you can static the wave after doing that, then sure, that sounds fantastic because he doesn't have anywhere to get rotations
if you can
from.
Static the wave where his tier 1 was, you could just dual lane it.
Yeah.
And just shit on a mid, and then they would dual lane it, but you'd win because you'd have the closer tier 1, and you'd be closer to runes. That'd be good.
I do feel like the most mid heroes have push at this point, so it's kind of hard to static the wave. You'd have to basically not allow him to get anywhere near the wave.
Also, range creeps missing uphill is a problem too. That like makes it so it's hard. It's really hard to static the wave in mid.
Yeah.
You static it for like 5 seconds, then it pushes or pulls.
You could probably static it on their high ground, like where their tier 1 used to be. That's like probably the only place it would actually work. And then you'd have to have like maybe an Undying or an Ogre sitting on the other side of it, just zoning them from it. But I don't think you'd want the Ogre to take the mid tier 1. You'd want Abaddon off lane, you'd want Ogre, and you'd want probably like an Enigma or something like that. And then what else would help you take? You'd need a Blightstone. You'd need
Lone Druid.
Druid would be really good. And who else would provide extra against the tower? Maybe Nature's Prophet, like safe lane Nature's, I don't know, safe lane Lone Druid, something like that.
Dealing with last pick brood with no wave clearing heroes, you lose. I was reading a question from chat. All right, we're moving on. Prime Operator says, on his tiny guide, Donnie chose 3 toss charges instead of the other talent. Why?
Because I haven't updated it in 6 months.
I think with the 3 toss charges, people stopped going for that because, number 1, they changed Avalanche, and number 2, you don't really have mana to toss people, and people can just get BKB off anyway because you can't target people who are being tossed with toss. So there's a tiny window that people can...
Yeah, that guide was last updated when the toss charges were considered broken because you could just permanently lock people down and kill them.
Yeah. Back in the day. Dan1 says, how to regain control over the game when the mid player loses the mid lane and falls like 2 levels behind the opponent mid laner. Have a support take mid, and then they go jungle, and they roam. That's basically it. It's relatively easy, actually, because they can just open up the game by roaming and being... The thing is, like, when you're just statically laning, it's not that being 2 levels behind that hurts. It's the...
Static laning in that position.
Right, it's laning for 5 minutes after being 2 levels behind that makes that a problem in the game.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in most pubs, that's going to be the case. Like, people don't really start lane swapping until Immortal. So, if you're in a spot where you have a mid or a carrier or whatever who's getting dumpstered, and you ask them to go somewhere else, they're probably going to be like, where am I supposed to go? This is my lane. They'll tell you to leave, and you'll be like, all right, man. But I don't know. Like,
yeah, if your mid's an idiot and also losing, then you probably lose anyway, though, because that's like generally that's just like a griefing shit player.
Yeah.
So All right, that's it for questions. We're done.
Cool.
We're out of here.
Good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Guess we'll see you on Thursday, and let us know what you think about the scheduling. I suppose, like, hit us up
Real
and slide into our DMs, or just comment something. Anyway,
Should schedule the replay review.
yeah, I guess so. Whatever, man. All right, see you later. No, seriously, thanks for tuning in, guys, and thanks to our patrons as always. We'll see you next time.